welcome to the first Game Buzz proper of the year. I'm Matt Gardner. I'm joined by Carl Phillips.
What's up?
And Jonathan Lester.
Hello.
Hello. And
Hello.
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 Good day.
Hi.
Bonjour.
No, monsieur. Alors, le Game Buzz.
Look,
Allons-y.
We have an international audience. We should be able to greet them. Whatever.
No, we should, but you specifically shouldn't.
Fair enough. Yes, welcome to Game Buzz, the weekly series from Dillsbone, in which we trot through the news from the past week. And actually, surprisingly for January, there's been quite a lot of it thanks to CES 2014. So let's kick off with probably the biggest thing, for us at least, from CES this year. 13! No fewer than 13 Steam machines broke cover and emerged and looked disgustingly awful.
I'm amazed how they stayed in cover for so long. I mean,
know, right?
those things... I assumed that iBuyPower machine was an outlandish sort of product prototype, but no. I mean, they basically just took inspiration from Southend Seafront on a Saturday night, and we're like,
Rims.
Yeah, what our Steam machines really need are spoilers, underlighting, LEDs, like fat pipes. That's what they need to look nice and nondescript in the living room, definitely. So yeah, what has been revealed are 13 actually quite expensive, ridiculous looking toys that wasn't quite what I was expecting from the first wave of Steam machines.
No, because we go back to the first few reports, and we got excited because it looked like there'd be a 3-tier system of the low end kind of stream machines, and around like starting off at the sort of $100, like $99 mark, mid range around 300, and then the upper limit for whatever the sort of PC hardcore aficionado wants to afford, that sort of thing. And what we seem to have gotten is just that top end, like between $500 and $6,000. Who's gonna spend $6,000 on a Steam?
Yeah, but it does have the specs of why would you spend $6,000? Why would you spend $6,000 on what is effectively a pretty decent PC? Let's not beat about the bush, in a ridiculously hideous case.
Yeah, because we've all got rigs, right? I mean, and I went into bed that like most serious PC gamers have already got rigs. Ribs. But I think Carl, you said it best in your sort of part of the roundtable reaction to this. Like, I think a lot of us were hoping for stream machines, right?
Absolutely. Well, especially the existing user base. I mean, they were touting about how they have like 68 million Steam users or something stupid like that the other day. And for us, we already have the big machine. We've already spent up to about £1,000 on our rigs because we know how to build them and everything else. And so a streaming option, like a small unit, much like the OnLive unit, small little thing that you could put by your TV to stream from your computer to the TV. I mean, the technology exists. We've seen it with the NVIDIA Shield. It's there. But I don't understand why they haven't said, right, well, here's like a really small box that you can put there and use your existing stuff. Get going straight away. But they haven't done that.
Well, I suspect that one of those I think the Zotac machine
I hope
is
not.
probably going to try and do that, because I mean, look at that thing. What Zotac appears to have done is got a router depending on where you're from, right?
Yep.
And then charge $599 for it.
No, there is a GTX card in there.
Yeah, there's a GTX card in there. There's an Intel core. Ooh, can't wait to see what kind of core that is. And some RAM, and you can store some stuff in it.
Yes,
which is tremendously exciting, and it's designed to look like a router with two ridiculous ears sticking up, which I assume that must be streaming centric. That thing must be designed. Why would it have those outrageous antennae? Otherwise, and
if the capability's there, fine, but £600?
Yeah,
it's $600.
Yeah,
which actually translates directly to 600.
Probably, almost certainly, yeah.
Exchange rate, woo!
But yeah, $600 for that is still not optimal whatsoever, especially like I say, we've all got rigs, so why on earth would we want to be spending that kind of money?
Doesn't make sense.
Exactly, but I don't think that's like one of the problems with this first reveal. But what underwhelmed me was just how confusing the whole thing was, because this was already going to be pretty tough to explain. It should be easy to explain, like, this is a PC that goes in your lounge. There's a sort of basic one if you want to stream from PC you've already got. If you're not used to the PC side of things, here's a decent PC that will play lots of games that we will start certifying. And if you've got a fair bit of money, here's a future-proofed one that you can upgrade and has decent specs. And Steam machines, the whole point of Steam machines has to be making the PC experience easier, more convenient, more palatable, more basic and sort of easy to understand, right?
Accessible.
And yet, accessible. That's absolutely it. Convenience and accessibility has to be what the Steam box is all about. Sorry, the Steam machine is all about. And yet, their first reveal, the first time they expose themselves to the public, phrasing, is that it said, hey, here are 13 machines, some of which we're telling you the specs of, some of which we're not, or we're not really giving you many details about actually what they're capable of. And so one of these machines might be good for you, maybe. I just don't, I think they're going to have real trouble convincing people who haven't necessarily, because as you've said, we've all got PCs, we just need a stream box.
Yeah.
We're already, like, arguably we're the main market for these things, and we're already sort of not even in this. We're not even a part of this.
Yeah, it's not aimed at us. It's
No,
clearly aimed at people with too much money and not enough time to sort out a PC rig.
And but these people need, you know, if they don't have much time, if they want convenience and accessibility, having to already choose this product line isn't even out yet, and there are already 13 machines to choose from.
Yeah.
That's confusing. That's tremendously confusing, especially when there'll be 250 games on SteamOS at launch, apparently. Are all of these going to be certified for every Steam machine? Is it going to, you know, how well are all of these games going to run on all of these different hardware specifications?
Yeah.
I don't know. I thought it was a bit confusing, a bit sort of fractious, and just a little bit disappointing as well, given all the hype.
That confusion, that how good will the games that I have run on the machine that I might be getting. That's the thing is, like, you can't have that if you're going to the living room. Even the micro consoles have that. You look at the PS4 and the Xbox One, which this is competing with, whatever Neil says. And you know what those machines do. You know exactly what they'll do. All of the games will run exactly the same on those machines, for those machines. Boom, done. Oh, and they happen to be cheaper as well. What? I mean, it just, I don't see the PC living room revolution stemming from this at all, until and unless Valve basically put their money where their mouth is.
Well, essentially make 3 first-party Steam machines.
Yeah.
You're saying.
Basically, yeah.
They could do that. The other thing, what I think could happen is that SteamOS could be quite disruptive, because it's free to license and it's free for manufacturers to license. So once Alienware, rather than making a box that will house SteamOS, when they start saying, hey, you don't have to pay for Windows, you can have SteamOS in it, and bringing out lots more form factor stuff. Say they let you put it on the standard on an X51 or something. And once more of the big hardware manufacturers say, this is a awesome living room PC that looks pretty great, has SteamOS as standard, you can have Windows on it if you want, or we'll create a hard drive partition for you. I think SteamOS could be very disruptive. The Alphase is crazy, but I don't think that this launch bodes entirely well for Steam machines, at least perhaps for this next few months and maybe this year.
No.
Yeah, I'll agree. The only other thing that I would point out is how some of them are quite small and form factorish, so that, you know, they'll fit nicely underneath the TV, but some of them just look absolutely huge, which I'm sure, isn't that just going against the whole point of the Steam machine being a sort of like a living room device.
That Falcon one is a
Yeah.
PC.
Yeah,
Yeah.
no, this is my point.
It's a PC.
It's just huge. What is the point? I mean, as well as the Web Hallen one as well. I mean, they look absolutely huge, and it's like, well, what's the point?
Also, I've got to say as well, the Origin one. I can't wait to see the Origin Chronos. I
Yes.
can't wait to see how much that costs and how big it is, because they said, "Oh, we're not telling you how much it costs. It'll probably be quite affordable, but yeah,
£4,000.
there's two. It's got
Yeah,
we got
that's
two. Yeah, we got two Titans in there. So there are two Titans in there in the like base spec version. So it's probably not going to be the smallest box ever.
I do
I'm
love
thinking.
Origin though, just purely for their ridiculousness.
Yeah, and it's like, yeah, we've also like there was a bit of empty space, so we just put a gold ingot in there. It might work as a heat sink. We don't really know, but you know, there's a bit of space.
Can't wait
so
to find
what the heck?
out.
Yeah.
So yeah, that was the first big thing of the week. Steam machines. I think we're a little disappointed in them at this stage. This is just the first tidbit wave of information. There's so much more to come on this, and hopefully they'll get better. Hopefully, a more affordable tier will. There must be a lower cost stream box option, because, like John, you said this yesterday. It already exists. It's the Shield, which costs much less than this, and is also a portable handheld. So you strip the portable handheld out, and you literally just have the streaming capability, and that can't cost much more than
No, I mean, and if
$150.
exactly, if AMD or Nvidia just do this on their own initiative, that's the whole streaming thing locked down.
And actually, like, how we were predicting the death of micro consoles? If they came with that capability, so you have this sort of, like, say the Mojo, for example, comes with a Mad Catz marketplace that's stuffed with Android goodness, like, that's fine. But then also allows you to stream from your PC.
Well, of course you can, because you can get an Android version of Caney, which streams your desktop in real time over Wi-Fi.
Yeah, all they have to do is like either come up with some form of firmware flash or a app on whatever store it is for the micro console, and then
It's already on Ouya. So
No, I mean, so like specifically for Steam OS.
Yeah,
like,
specifically for Steam OS. Like, the technology's there. It already exists. Just whack Steam on it. Fucking Valve.
Yeah, I'd buy an Ouya if I knew that I could put Steam OS to stream onto that. I'd buy an Ouya.
Would you?
There's no way that Ouya will be able to handle that. At least not this current. At least not this current.
Never.
model.
And imagine the Alface trying to go look at the Ouya and just be like, no, I'm not connecting to that. I'm Alface.
I cannot. The Alface. I'm so excited about trying out that Alface. It's just its button layout. It's ridiculous trackpads. I think it will be brilliant for everything except platformers.
I think it'll be shit.
I think I'll be poking an owl in the face.
I'm going to be poking an owl in the eye and rubbing its pupils. I'm going to be playing like 4X games on a controller and seeing how that works. I think it could work. I think it could work well for everything except regular games.
I'll tell you what,
it'll be
I'm looking
fantastic.
forward to
Tell you
trying
what, Civilization 5. Oh man, it's going to be crushing that.
Oh, yeah.
Pretty much just literally all 4X games.
It won't though, because you'll use it for like 5 minutes, get frustrated because it'll take 5 days to work out how to properly use that thing.
It won't.
And then you'll walk the 5 steps to your PC.
Matt, did it take you 5 days? Did it take you 5 days to work out how to use your laptop's trackpad? Is that what you're telling?
Do you know what? When we made the jump from single stick to dual stick, it took me fucking ages to get my head around that.
So this is just another jump we're going to have to deal with.
It's going to take me fucking ages. I reckon, no, I'll get bored of it after 5 minutes, be like, this is weird, but ultimately pointless. Go back to my computer,
awesome. Sit
down with my luscious fucking ergonomic perfection mouse and just be like, Civilization. Yeah, this is how it's supposed to be done. And then for first-person shooters, just have either keyboard and mouse and just a gamepad, which has sufficed for decades. It'd be lovely.
Or you'll be wearing an exoskeleton and an Oculus Rift.
Yes.
No,
Yeah.
That'll
And falling
do.
all over the room and trashing your bedroom,
Vomiting everywhere.
vomiting everywhere, and
My
knocking your rig and monitor off the desk because you can't work out where the hell you've got to and where
That's
you are in
what I
relation
want
to
to
anything
see.
else.
That's the future.
Yeah, that's the VR future. I can't wait, genuinely.
Woo!
But
The
you
VR
better have
future is in the emergency room. Is that what we're trying to
amazing
say?
home,
Yes,
amazing
I want to
home
put it in my
insurance.
face. On and in my face.
Mm.
Which I will. So
Okay.
yeah, that's the Steam machines.
Yeah. Must try
Let's-
harder.
Yes, must try harder. Let's move on now to another exciting thing that we've been waiting for some time. Like we called this when Sony first picked up Gaikai, but now Sony have revealed their streaming mega idea. PlayStation Now, streaming PS3 games to your PS4, Vita tablets, and Bravia. Bravia. Bravia.
Awesome. So suddenly there's maybe a reason to buy a Sony Bravia. I mean, I know they're great, but man, looking at their financials, people really aren't buying those anymore.
That's because they're like 500 quid more than the same TV from like Panasonic.
Yep,
Yeah.
but they're so awesome. But they're so I mean we none of us have one. But you know, okay, so first of all, that's good for Bravia. But yeah, PlayStation Now, it's a tremendously exciting idea because it's going to just be the tip of this enormous, inexorable push towards like all-in-one cloud gaming and thinking about PlayStation in terms of a service on any screen that you own. Rather than just tethered to one console. This is going to happen throughout the years because, you know, Sony didn't spend, what was it, 380 million quid on Gaikai just for a little gimmick, you know, just for a little throwaway thing. This is the start of an inexorable push towards getting PlayStation into the cloud and then letting you consume the games on pretty much anything you own, a phone, a tablet, your television, or your PS4 in the short term on your PS4. And in a more basic level, they've basically now invented future-proof backwards compatibility. How awesome is that? Because you can stream it, you can play games from, if they're going to start putting PS3 games on the service. When they put PS2 games on there, PS1 games, legacy games, you'll be able to play those games sort of ad infinitum so long as the service stays online. That's awesome.
It is awesome. That last bit may prove a sticking point for some people. Like the idea that you won't really own your games anymore and that as soon as the service goes down, you won't be able to play them.
Which is how things pretty much work right now. Anyway.
But yeah. It'd be nice to have some sort of, I don't know, depending on your subscription grade, it might be nice to have some sort of offline mode for
streaming games.
I don't know. You know how Spotify has an offline mode? Spotify has an offline mode in which, you know, if you pay the maximum sort of subscription on it, you can actually just create playlists that download.
Yeah, but that's different. Music is just a thing that you can sort of download and then do offline. A game as well, you'd have to emulate that as well.
Yeah, difference between 3 megabytes and 30 gig.
Yeah, and what's more, but you'd also then pull that 30 gig and then a console that has totally the wrong architecture to play the game will have to somehow brute force emulate it.
This is
Yeah,
true.
and because it's on different devices, I mean, seriously, you going to download the entirety of The Last of Us onto a Vita? Yeah, because we've all got 128 gigabyte cards in there, don't we?
Yeah,
God
and
damn
stuck
it.
in your Bravia.
Yeah.
But no, thing is though, I don't want to rubbish that idea. I'd love that.
Yeah, that would be cool.
Look, come
It
on,
would be.
a man was put on the moon with a computers less powerful than the graphical calculators we have now. Surely it must be possible to do this. Let's not rubbish the idea. I think it's a great idea.
Oh no,
But
totally. But
this is a great idea, and you know what? It's nice to see a console manufacturer doing something practical with the cloud as well, doing something measurable, something we can actually kind of understand and get our head around. And something that we're not going to get here in Europe until
next year?
Ever?
That maybe.
Do you think we'll ever get it?
Well, we're going to have all the whole sort of like region issues as well, aren't we? So, what region do we put it in? And blah 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 blah.
So yeah, just to be clear, if you haven't read up on the sort of news story, dear listeners, they're bringing this to the US. They're bringing it into beta in the US this summer and sort of rolling out rolling it out towards the end of the year, and they're not bringing it out here in Europe. Well, they just haven't announced anything for Europe because we can't have fast internet and aren't allowed nice things.
Nope.
Apart from Bravely Default that we got early. You don't have it yet, America. You got to take the small victories when you get them.
That's true.
I really do hope it comes to Europe. Even though, because we mentioned on live, it's survived here in the UK somehow.
After all those shady business dealings at the beginning of its.
there's clearly a market for this stuff, and it will only grow because like internet infrastructure can't get worse. So like something will have to give eventually, and ISPs will have to butt their ideas up, and like we'll have to have rollout of.
Sorry, did you say buck their ideas up?
I said buck.
I think you might have misspoke there slightly.
I said they'll have to buck their ideas up rather than.
Yeah, I think the latter option is more likely.
Touch wood. Hopefully, just sort it out, ISPs. Jesus Christ. So yeah, I do think it'll come to Europe eventually, and it is a wonderful idea. It's what we were saying was probably on the cards 2 years ago when the deal that first brought Sony and Geico together happened, and I'm very glad that it's happening. It's really great, but unfortunately, that excitement is tempered by a pragmatism that our infrastructure is basically just as good as it was 2 years ago.
Exactly, and it's hampered by technology as well, and by just our perceptions of cloud gaming.
Yeah.
Because I got to say, on live, I like on live. We all like on live here. That's the thing, but we can't do anything but rag on it over here because it doesn't work over here. Yeah, a few people can use it, as you said yesterday, Carl. That's great. We're so happy for you.
So
with your amazing internet.
happy.
So happy for you. but most people who used it found that there was a lot of video compression, even if it worked, and that there was a bit of controller lag as well. And there's this idea that just the cloud generally just is jargon, that it won't work. Like anytime Microsoft mentions it in conjunction with the Xbox One, we say, no, go away. That's bullshit. We can't. Internet's not fast enough to support offloading any processing to your servers, blah, 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 blah. And it's true right now. So they face an uphill battle over here in Europe just to A, make it work, make it stable. And B, to convince us that it's a good idea. Also, because we're quite value savvy here in Rip Off Britain, like convincing us that it's worth paying for is going to be a big ask as well, because we don't know anything about how much they're going to charge. Just here are some of the unknown quantities. Like they say that we can like pay a la carte for access to a game. They used the word rent. And they also said that if we pay a subscription, we'll be able to access a wider variety of them. So, what variety of games will be on there? Will there be any third-party games on there? If we've already bought a digital copy of a game on PSN or a PSN sort of exclusive, will we get automatic access to that? Or will we have to buy it again? Will there be a discount? Sony have confirmed that if you have a disc copy of a game on PS3, you will have to pay full price again to access it.
Yeah.
Which is, I can understand, if for a disc copy at least, but checking that would be quite difficult, I think. But there's a lot of unknowns right now, and in a perfect world, I'd like to see PlayStation Plus absorb quite a lot of the upfront cost of this.
Yeah,
now
that's the other thing. Yeah, I mean, we've already got people with subscriptions to that. I mean, are they going to get a discount? Is it going to be like a basic version of that put into PlayStation Plus? I mean, these are a lot of unknowns, like you say, that we still need to learn.
Well, you see, the instant game it would make the instant game collection perhaps a bit easier, because you could still provide the genius thing is once the PS3 stops circulating, you can still provide free PS3 games through that.
Yeah,
is the instant games collection. So there's a lot of unknowns, and we here in Europe aren't going to really know what's going to come of this for quite some time. But trust me, over the next few years, I reckon personally that, we may be talking decades here, but we're going to be thinking about games in terms of screens. This is the direction gaming's going. We're going to be, say, in the lounge, we'll say, right, I'm going to play games on this television. So we'll bring up whatever gaming service we use on the television in the lounge. Then we'll leave, get on the bus and say, right, I'm going to pick up where I left off on the tablet or my phone, and then end up somewhere else on someone else's TV or in someone else's house, or even at work if you're good with the alt tab, and just say, well, I'm on this screen now, bring up the gaming service, start streaming from where I left off. So I think Sony have really future-proofed themselves well here. And it's exciting. It's just exciting to see console manufacturers trying something new. So your move, Microsoft. Make all that cloud power work for us now, please.
Cloud!
I'm in the cloud.
I'm in the cloud.
Oh, speaking of Microsoft as well, Sony also said that there's going to be a great big streaming TV service as well, which kind of does everything the Xbox One does and doesn't require you to pay out for extra hardware.
Yeah, but TV, sports, TV.
Yes,
Sports.
so the PS4 can also do that if you want it to.
PS Sports.
PS Sports.
So yes, that's PlayStation Now. Let us know what you think about that in the comment section below. Actually, speaking of Microsoft, the jewel in their 2014 crown, Titanfall, came under a little bit of flack this week after Vince Zampella leapt online and tweeted out a response asking about player count in the game, and it'll be capped at 6 versus 6. And a lot of people were like, "What? Pre-order cancelled." But what do we think about that? Because I'm rather of the opinion that it's really not the end of the world at all.
Look, there's not every game has to have 64 players or 100,000 players or an infinite number of players. First of all, I mean, these things are rigorously play tested. Titanfall's been in development for years. If they thought that 8v8 would be more appropriate, 10v10, 12v12, 32v32, they'd have implemented that. The fact is, this isn't a straight arena shooter. It's not like Battlefield. It's not like COD. It's not like Unreal. It appears to be. They're trying to bring the single-player, story-driven action into the multiplayer experience. There will be AI in there. There will be massive robots, and the freedom of movement means that if there are loads of players, you're just going to get sniped over and over again from people on rooftops, and it's going to be just far too chaotic to deal with. When you've got everyone jumping around the sky full of players, that'd be stupid.
Well, it's the fact that they've said that with this kind of level of players, it means that every single player, if they really wanted to, could be in a Titan.
Yeah, 12 Titans all at once. And trust me, it's crazy. It's really crazy. And John, you're absolutely right. The versatility in sort of traversal that the pilots offer, it means that I don't think I'd want any more players than 6v6 necessarily. Maybe 8v8 could work. But they know what they're doing. They created the best first-person shooter of this. Well, a lot of them worked on the best first-person shooter of this generation. They've got some pedigree. It's not like they're idiots. They do know kind of what they're doing. And do you know what? I'm with them. I've played it. I'm totally with them.
And yeah, for all of you guys bashing this who perhaps haven't played the game, like, more players doesn't necessarily equal better game. No. Like, there was once a little game called Mag, that had lots of players and was tremendously confusing, frustrating, irritating, and pointless. So, although I actually kind of liked it. But,
yeah, totally.
More players, it was all right, but it was also really dumb and would have been better with less players and smaller maps. But they know what they're doing here. I mean, obviously, I feel a bit hypocritical here because I criticised Call of Duty Ghosts on now last-gen consoles for its 6v6 limit, which I think is fair enough because, Black Ops 2 let you have more players in there, and the maps are balanced in Ghosts for a higher player count.
Yeah.
Especially some of the bigger levels, so. But here I think it's, this isn't just a straight multiplayer game. This isn't just Team A versus Team B, first to however many points wins. There's so much more to it than that. Let's give them the benefit of the doubt. And instead, scrutinise the launch.
Yep.
Because I don't give a damn about the player count. What I care about, or what Microsoft needs to care about more than anyone, is this game launching just whisper smooth. This thing needs to be just buttery, silkily, perfectly smooth in terms of its rollout. Or otherwise, Xbox Live's lovely cloud power and all the advanced stuff that they're apparently doing is going to be mocked across the internet.
Yeah.
And
much.
they're going to be a laughing stock, and it is going to really hurt the Xbox One's reputation in the short term.
Fingers crossed it doesn't happen, though. Woohoo!
Fingers crossed.
Fingers crossed.
I've pre-ordered it on PC, but damn, I'll probably try and get it on Xbox One as well. I've got an Xbox One. Hell, I might as well.
Speaking of things we're anticipating and desperately hoping are good, there's a new Alien game on the way.
Well, if you want to be technical about this, there are two sort of Alien games on the way, but only one of which is official. And
Yes.
yeah, Alien Isolation. The Creative Assembly have finally admitted that they're working on an Alien tie-in, an official 20th Century Fox Alien tie-in. Now, what I find most interesting about this game is it's not an Aliens game,
Yeah.
it's an Alien game. So it draws so heavily from the very first film in the series in terms of its tone, in terms of its slower, more just generally tense and horrific imagery as well. It's going to very much be a survival game, apparently. Very much scavenging, hiding in the shadows, and desperately trying to stay hidden from a single terrifying alien. Just one xenomorph, by the look of it. Could be tremendously interesting.
It could. It could indeed. Sorry, Carl, were you about to say something?
No.
I thought someone just...
No, other than it does look really cool. And well, we don't even know. Do we even know what sort of genre it is in terms of?
It's survival horror. It's
in terms of first person
survival horror. Yeah.
Okay, because there was a few people who were getting a bit confused from what I saw, and they were like, "Oh, well, what sort of genre is it going to be like in terms of is it first person strategy and blah 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 blah?"
Well, it's fair enough that they're confused because this is the Creative Assembly we're talking about.
Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah. This is it. But I mean, it looks really, really cool. In terms of tone, it looks fantastic. And let's just hope it's I love the fact that the disclaimer at the beginning was like, this is all in-game engine stuff.
Right.
Like that they put
honest.
that front and center. And it just boils down to we just hope that it does manage to deliver on the experience, unlike others.
And I must say, there is actually a studio that I would have preferred to have worked on an Aliens game, which is Turtle Rock, because Turtle Rock, with their AI director, Left 4 Dead's AI director that attacks players with hordes of enemies dynamically and hits them in unexpected ways and constantly makes the entire game unpredictable and unbelievably tense and hectic. That would seem to be the way to go for an Aliens game, and infinitely replayable. Just replace the zombies with aliens and the survivors with marines. Yeah. Keep the same AI, and you've already got a pretty kick-ass alien game right there. You can just reskin Left 4 Dead. And they are working on a game with an alien in it.
Wow.
It turns out they're working on Evolve, which doesn't seem to have their AI director anymore, and instead means that you've got 4 players hunting down one other player who plays as a super evolving alien, which I would probably buy, so long as I don't have to be the alien. So
I want to see it. I'd have to see how it plays. I think
it reminds
it's an interesting concept.
It reminds me a bit of those early Wii U games in Nintendo Land, where 4 players are having fun, or like the boost mode in New Super Mario Brothers U, where you've got 4 players having the best fun ever, going, "Yay, we're running, we're jumping, we're having all the fun," and then the gamepad players going, I'm taking part. Look, I just made a platform for you. And they're all like, "Shut up, gamepad player. Ah, look at you. Ah, you lame-o. Make another platform. Yeah, go on." And then the Wii U gameplay player goes slowly insane and ends up bludgeoning his mates to death with the tablet. So,
yeah, but in this case, you're not going to have an alien who evolves into making platforms for the other team.
No, that's true. And I'm hoping that
full on
I'm hoping that
griefing.
resentment. I'm hoping that resentment will like fuel loads of horrific acts like committed by the alien player. Like they'll be fired up and ready to take them down. Especially if he can listen to their voice communication as well.
Oh, totally, yeah.
That'd be fun. Also, and then also talk to them with a voice changer. That'd be awesome. I'd love to be above like the team in an air pipe and go, "Hey guys."
What you thinking? Just like right above them.
Yeah. What you doing? Hey. I'd like well creep people out. It'd be amazing. But yeah, it's Evolve is coming out in autumn for PC, Xbox One, and PS4, and caused everyone on the internet to write a headline and then say, "Hang on, do we call this next gen now, or is it current gen?"
It's
I know.
ignorance.
Definitely
I'm
a
calling
generation.
It's a generation. I suggest we call it. What about new gen? New gen. Ted New Gen.
Yeah, we're gonna spell it with a U rather than EW.
Yes,
New metal.
New gen.
But
Yeah, because
better.
things are much better when you spell them like that.
That's true.
I have a question. To go like just regarding the Alien IP or Aliens IP, just that universe in general. Is there anything left to scare people with? Because I was having this conversation with a couple of people the other day when this news first broke. Like the idea that actually in horror games, what's really scary is the idea of you don't know what's around the next corner. And the thing is, xenomorphs have been done to death by now. Do we can they still be scary?
I think as long as it's unpredictable as where they're going to approach from, and there is a sort of like a risk versus reward kind of mechanic, in terms of punishing the player if they get it wrong or if they get caught, then yes. Like imagine an Aliens game with a sort of ability to rip apart the scenery, like literally everything around you, nothing's safe. It's not a case of, oh, there's a vent up there, it's probably going to appear from there. Like if they made it so that it was completely unpredictable, like ripping a door apart or jumping through a window, and so like making it kind of like Left 4 Dead, yeah, in terms of making it so it's completely unpredictable where they're going to come from, then yeah, you'd get the genuine scares.
I actually agree with you on that, because actually Dead Space, you'd approach, which obviously takes massive cues from Alien and Event Horizon. Like every single time you go past a grate or event, you'd be like, "You're gonna come out of there, aren't you? I know you're gonna come out. There we go. Hello." Was actually when you get to Dead Space 3 and you're out in the snowy wilderness, they could come from anywhere, which was actually quite terrifying.
So like, I've got this image of like you're there going, oh, there's the windows there, they're going to go through there. Oh wait, no, the vent there, it's going to go through there, and then you turn around, and it's right there in your face. Going,
yeah, or it just smashes, like rips right through the ceiling.
Exactly.
And you can do that with. I hate to bang on about this, but come on, Turtle Rock and 20 years. Come on, please, Sega, please find a way of making this collaboration happen. Get the AI director in there and those big destructible levels that can hit you from anywhere.
Yeah.
Yes.
Please. The other thing I'd like is, as well, the other thing I'd like that would be, I think, tense rather than scary is a turn-based strategy game. Very much like XCOM Enemy Unknown. In fact, I would like Firaxis to do it. In fact, I would like it to be XCOM Enemy Unknown, but with aliens. And I would like that and really thick fog of war. Because that way, you've got that sort of constant tension of, where are these aliens coming from? They've got their motion trackers, you know vaguely perhaps where the aliens are. You're controlling this small team, but here's the key. You can, at any time, you are playing as the lieutenant in the APC. And you can see what from each of your team's perspectives through their helmet cams. Up in the corner of the screen. Which I think would heighten immersion massively and be really exciting. And I don't know about you, but I found XCOM terrifying, especially when one of your team was very badly wounded and you know that there was a Crystalisk.
Yeah.
Oh,
somewhere.
Fucking...
Like, and you think, I've got one move left. I've got an assault trooper. He's got one move. If I make him run and gun, I might be able to kill it if it's round that corner, if it hasn't gone the other way. So... I think that could be tremendous. I think that could work really well. And the setup's already there. You've got I bang on about this every time I write a post about it, but Marines have battle dress cameras. That would seem to be a perfect perspective for a strategy game.
Yeah.
But anyway, I've already broken my New Year's resolution about 19 times in this podcast and just rattled on. So,
but all good
sorry.
ideas, admittingly.
All good ideas.
Yeah.
Exactly.
So that's fair enough. You're allowed that
Oh,
one.
thank
That
you.
was good. Nice.
Thank you.
Which I think actually like, brings us nicely to the end of the Game Buzz. Ending on some good ideas. Always good.
Or how about this? What about a free-to-play shooter?
Go home.
Right?
Go home,
Right?
John. You're drunk.
But come on, it's a Friday lunchtime. But like, come on, seriously. But
we could kickstart it. It's fine.
we could, seriously, free-to-play is like super hot right now. So like free-to-play shooter,
Nobody's
right?
annoyed with it at all.
No, so free-to-play shooter, outsource it to like they are doing some amazing stuff over in South Korea and
Timegate aren't doing
Taiwan.
anything.
Timegate aren't doing anything. They're not really doing very much.
We
at
could get
all.
them
Never
ever
allowed to
now
do
these
anything
days.
ever again.
Exactly.
For the good of the people.
I think they've learned their lesson. Let's
good
let
of
them
the
come out and play and make our free-to-play game.
No,
Made it
because
come out
you
and-
know how.
Yeah.
You know who it has to be, don't you? Monolith.
Who?
Monolith, who used to make kick-ass horror games and now don't anymore. So it'd be a lot like Gotham City Imposters, apart from the
Yeah.
Marines have roller skates. That's about
No,
it.
we should have stopped this.
Disco
earlier.
aliens. That's all I'm imagining now.
We should have stopped this at the good ideas.
Yeah.
Those are terrible ideas.
Monolith.
What disco aliens? Yeah, like
I mean,
the
seriously.
aliens, Greens on
Disco
roller skates. Yeah.
They've made a they're making a free-to-play game out of Fear.
Disco Xenomorph.
Yep, they're making a
Really?
free-to-play game out of like Legacy of Freaking Kane,
Oh, yeah.
a class-based multiplayer shooter. That's super great. And
Fine.
yeah, and then Monolith were like, "Hey, Fear was pretty good. Condemned Criminal Origins was all right, wasn't it? Brackets. It was so good." And then they said, "Actually, do you know what? Let's make Gotham City Imposters and Guardians of Middle Earth instead. Let's stop doing that awesome horror now. Sod it. Free to play and MOBAs and little arena games. Monolith. Sorted."
Weeping.
Do it.
Weeping.
Yep.
Oh, no.
And do you know what?
Bombshell.
Oh my god. Do
It's
you know how
time to go and
perfect
cry.
this is?
Thanks
Do you know
very
how
much for joining us.
No. Do you know how perfect this is?
What?
Sega. Sega published most of their stuff, or at least used to publish most of their stuff, and Sega have the rights to Alien.
This whole thing writes itself. It's right there. All the pieces.
God.
We're gonna make it stop. We're stopping. Thank you
Please make
so
it stop.
much for listening to this podcast. We will be back next week with more hot, juicy, journalistic criticism of the week. Journalisms. Yes. We might go off on tangents again. It's likely. There's a high percentage chance that might happen. But thank you very much for listening. If you're watching this on YouTube, do hit subscribe. We will catch you soon for some more witty banter and not so witty ramblings. Until next time, thanks guys. Bye.
Bye-bye.
You could call them phrenomorphs.
No! Stop it!
Premiumorphs.
Premium. Yeah. Aliens.
Morphs.
Premium Marines.
Premiumorphs.
No.
That could work.
Stop.
Yeah, like you're paying,
Preems.
you get like
It's
super
not.
armor. Let's make
Big
this
beam
fully
of
I
pay to
will
win.
beat you
Yeah.
guys. No.
Ooh,
Stop
you could
it.
get a power loader. I've got it. Power loader.
Yes.
But it degrades, and you get it
Ah!
for like 5
Yeah.
minutes, but it like gradually runs out of power fluid.
It's not right.
And power fluid, you only can get rested power fluid. You got to log in the next day, and you can get more power.
Yeah.
power
Oh, and
fluid,
if
or
you
pay straight
die,
away.
you have to. If you die, you have to either wait 24 hours, or you can buy yourself a reload, like for 10p. New life for 10 pence.
and your guns break.
Yes.
you
Oh,
die.
absolutely.
And your motion tracker is directly linked to your bank account, so each bleep is like 50p.
Stop it. Stop it.
Matt, are you in or not? We're going to make millions here.
Paying like £2 for an hour above.
Hmm
It's not right.
So instead of beep, beep, you get beep, beep, beep. Like this whole thing writes itself. It's fine.
This is monstrous. I don't like it.
And if you pay £10, you can, for 2 hours when you play as the alien and you're coming to attack the enemy player, you get dubstep playing, right? Around you to completely confuse the other team.
Alien dubstep.
Alien.
Oh,
Yeah.
Carl, I think you'll find that if you pay money, you can actually not play as a facehugger. Or an
Oh,
egg.
yeah. Oh, God, yes. Yeah, you have the right. You can
Absolutely,
either
actually
play
as a
for 20 hours or pay £50 to never play as a face.
No.
You can buy a premium cow to eat.
Yeah.
Premium,
Ooh.
like something, yeah.
No.
Well, and considering that most players will start off as one of those eggs,
Yeah.
I think they'll pay.
So you have to spend a year as an egg
Yeah.
before
Or you can even get to be a facehugger.
Unless you pay to speed up the time before hatching.
Yeah.
But also, this game won't be. Remember, I don't
So
think
it's
this
like,
game is
it's like
a shoot.
curiosity. You have to tap.
There's an elaborate crafting system to get to being from an egg to a facehugger though. As
For
well,
sure,
so.
but there's no shooter. It's not a shooter. What it's more like is one of those database games where you've got aliens and marines. You sort of click on a marine and say dispatch to mission, and then he comes back in 36 hours and he's either succeeded or died, and that's the whole game. Apart from the graphics system. And maybe, I don't know, if it's one of those Eastern free-to-play games, you'll see a marine on one side of the screen, 2D sprite, and an alien on the other side, and they'll automatically fight each other.
Yeah.
This is just so convenient. They've already
It's a
got the
gold
sprites
mine.
for that awesome 3DS alien game. Just use those sprites, jobs are good. Anyway, probably should.
Buy it. You'd play it, Matt, wouldn't you?
No.
You wouldn't have to buy it.
Yeah, it'd be free.
It'd be free, but you'd obviously want the premium membership.
Of course,
The
yes.
freemium. No.
And
Get
and
a
100
decal that you put on the back of your alien.
and
that says that you paid.
£100 and £100 founder package.
Oh yes.
Because naturally it's going to soft launch and stay in beta for like 2 years.
Stop it.
And then just one day we're just going to switch the servers off.
Stop it.
Well, no, we'll
Be-
switch off
be in
PvP.
Hawaii.
Stop
Be in
it.
Hawaii. So yeah, you can thank us later, 20th Century Fox. Can't be any worse than Colonial Marines. Or that Aliens vs Predator iOS game you brought out last year. Can't be any worse than that.
Woo. That works.
No.
Job is a good
Patents. Under Carl Phillips Productions.
That's fine. I'll take all of that money.
Yeah, and all of the resulting lawsuit.